This is the Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee from the movie Transformers Rise of the Beasts. We have the Beast Alliance, Beast Weaponizers, Predacon Scorponok, and Sandspear. I picked up this set from Toys R Us down at Vivo City in Singapore. Pretty interesting set of figures. Let's get these bad boys out of packaging. And here is Scorponok and Sandspear out of the box. And this set is actually not that bad. I was completely expecting it to be just like the other Weaponizer sets, but this one is actually a pretty decent set. Details are great, and you can see right here the colors. It's green and beige gray. If you splash on just a little bit of purple, it looks like G1 Scorponok colors for the cinematic universe. And yeah, the detail, I mean, despite having a lot of gaps here and there as expected with most of these figures, details are actually pretty fantastic. It's a terrific set with lots of playability. Let's take a closer look at the details of both of these figures. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 13 centimeters tall, or about 5 1/8 inches tall. And for comparisons, here he is with the Kingdom or Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Scorponok. And then we have the mainline Voyager Class Optimus Primal. So scale-wise, he is exactly as tall as a Deluxe Class Scorponok. I mean, his legs are even spread out wide, so he'll probably be 2 millimeters taller if you put the legs together. And scale-wise to Optimus Primal, I think that's about right. We never see, spoiler alert, we never see the robot mode of Scorponok. And it's interesting to note that you can see right there, there's a Predacon faction symbol on his chest. So we can probably assume that the Predacons are working with the Terracons at this point in time to defeat the Maximals. So as you've seen earlier in the video, the figure does come with 2 accessories. One accessory is actually his companion, Sandspear. And look at Sandspear. I mean, he gets some really nice metallic, glossy metallic, I should say, gunmetal gray paint apps on top of the, I guess, the scorpion carapace. There's a handle right here. And it's a really nice carved or sculpted blade. It really works as a weapon. Straight out of the Scorpion King, if you've seen that movie. I think he shouldn't have been called Sandspear because he looks like a broadsword. So he should have been called the Sand Saber, if you ask me. Okay, so to transform this guy into his beast mode is very simple. Just fold the claws out. And then the tail, the blade becomes the scorpion tail. And he looks great. He kind of feels like he's from the Zoids line, if you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he's got 5 millimeter peg holes right here, so he can literally hold weapons. Very, very cool. And I think it's pretty accurate to what we've seen in the movie. Sculpt-wise, I thought this was pretty cool. Okay, so that's him. On to Scorponok himself. Look at this. It's a fantastic sculpt. Just look at that head sculpt. They've even taken some pains to just sculpt out the detail of his visor to have a targeting array, and you know, it's an asymmetric visor because of that. I think that's a targeting array. And to a certain extent, I no longer have my movie 1 Scorponok, but I think the head sculpt looks very close to how he did in that old movie 1 Scorponok. I don't know, it's a mix of some aspects with G1 and all that, but I do love that head sculpt. And just like Sandspear, he's got this dark gunmetal gray paint on him. Nice leaf green paint apps right here. The plastic's pretty solid. It's not as bad as a lot of the Cyberverse figures were, or the Warrior Class figures were for Earthspark and all that. It's pretty solid, despite not having too much weight. I love the quality of plastic they used for this one. Very, very solid. And like I said, just amazing paint apps and detail all around. He even has his own sword. If he loses Sandspear along the way, he has his own, I guess this is a club melee sword type of weapon, which actually forms part of the beast mode's appendage. It's actually the tail of the beast mode. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of these parts forming pieces, but this one actually kind of works. As far as articulation goes, there's no waist or torso articulation for that matter, but he does have a neck swivel, which is also pretty cool. Ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, ball jointed hips, and ball jointed knees, which is what you'd expect with these warrior class type of figures. Okay, so very nice. Now to transform him into his scorpion mode, I actually haven't transformed him. This is the first time I'm doing so. I just read the instructions. So you do this, and then you do this, and you sort of kind of do this. And then the legs come out here and they fold up like this. Okay, tab in. And then finally this one, you'll need a little bit of adjustment. So you move it here and then move it here to form the tail. It kind of plugs in right here in between the legs. So yeah. Lots of ball joints up top. I mean, for a weapon, a tail that has ball joints here and not a solid piece. I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, look at this. All he's missing is maybe an attachment that would make those large claws, but I think this works. I mean, his forearms have these carapace spikes, which, I don't know, I like it. So yeah, they're both kind of screen accurate. I mean, as accurate as you can get. I mean, for very simple figures, they're actually pretty good. The instructions don't say anything, but it would have been nice if there was a way to just mount Sandspear right here on top of Scorponok, and something like that. That would have been really cool. But I mean, I guess you can use your imagination and they'd be okay. Okay. So let's do a bit of size comparisons. Who do I have? I have Black Arachnia from the Kingdom line, or Buzzworthy Bumblebee line as well, and you can see how he scales, and I think it's fine. If you do have an expanded Beast Wars kind of continuity and that crosses over multiverses, I mean, he could like come into a portal into Beast Wars world, and you could have them interact with the other Predacons, and I think it's pretty cool. So just before we leave alt mode, the official transformation is really like this, with the hands facing. I honestly don't see it. I think it should have been this way, because there's really nothing you can do with the arm this way, and you could see the robot hand. So to me, this is, I think, is the better transformation. But both instructions in the box say that it should be like this. Yeah, okay, fine if you wanted to, but really, I think this is the better transformation. And so some final thoughts on this Buzzworthy Bumblebee 2-pack of Scorponok and Sandspear. I think it's a great set. Both figures actually surprised me at how well they turned out. I honestly did not think they were going to be as great as this. They could use a little bit more details, a little bit more articulation here and there, but suffice to say, both engineering, plastic quality, and overall design of these this set of these figures are actually pretty good. If they don't end up making a studio series version of these figures I think will fit nicely on your Rise of the Beast shelf together with your studio series figures. I mean, they fit nicely with the main line. There's no reason they shouldn't fit well with the studio series, because they're basically non-main characters. They're army building figures. You could buy several of these. They'd look great on any Rise of the Beast shelf. I was just really surprised at how well they turned out. As such, the set is going to get a 9.5 out of 10. Not a bad outing for these weaponizers, because you've seen me review some of the other weaponizers. They were just okay. This one is probably the best out of all the weaponizers out there. Well, we haven't seen RC yet, but I'm hoping that one's a pretty good set as well. But this one, Not too bad. Give it a second look if you see it on the shelves. Don't pay too much for it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee from the movie Rise of the Beasts. Beast Alliance, Beast Weaponizers, Scorponok, and Sandspear. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.